This is the Strength and Conditioning Department of Siwelele FC.
Welcome to episode 1 of the Coach's Corner. My name is Kersten Diedrichs. I'm born and bred in Port Elizabeth, from a small community named Boyson Park that's predominantly in the northern areas of Port Elizabeth. I attended Grey High School in Port Elizabeth, quite a renowned school around South Africa and Eastern Cape itself. From there, I attended ETA College. I finished my personal training, my fitness instruction, eventually moving on to the strength conditioning degree, where I spent about 4 years at ETA College, and yeah, that's where my football journey started. With regards to what I bring to the department itself, I think I bring fresh, new ideas to the department itself. I'm always open and willing to learn through various aspects of fitness itself, and then obviously a lot of passion, dedication and work ethic that I've put into my department and the team, so to say. And obviously with a lot of assistance by my side, the work itself can't be done alone. So I think to sum it all up, I had a lot of energy, a lot of focus, work ethic, and just open to new ideas, really.
My name is Stembiso Innocent Mkunu. Originally from South Coast, Margate. Down, very far away from Durban. Came to Gauteng, did my studies, did some sports exercise technology course. I have a diploma in that. And then I've been working in football for as long as I can remember. I have extensive knowledge in terms of development, conditioning, and also with and without the ball. And now working with the senior guys, it's been an experience. So yeah, that's me.
I think speaking with regards to the philosophy of the strength conditioning department, I think it starts with the head coach, his philosophy and his intensity and game plan to be carried out eventually. And I think that us as a strength conditioning department, we are merely an extension of the coach itself. And I think that the head coach himself can't be everywhere. And like I said to you, that we're an extension of him, so to say, is that we carry his values and characteristics in what he wants to play and how he wants to play into our philosophy of strength conditioning side of things. And to bring you back to a final answer with regards to the philosophy of the head coach, we need to be very explosive, very agile. We need to be disciplined, and the work ethic needs to be right up there. I think you don't play for Siwelele in the modern day era without the correct work ethic itself, number one, and the adaptability from circumstances with the traveling schedule itself and the training schedule. You always got to adapt going forward, and if you're not agile to adapt, if you haven't got the work ethic, it will be very hard to play this football club.
Yeah, just to add on what Kerry is saying, it's basically that situation where when you think conditioning, you work from football, come back to the sports science part. We don't work from sports science into football. So we don't impose exactly what he's saying. We look at what coach needs, what he requires, and how he plays, how the team plays, and then we work from there and make sure all those requirements are met physically. That's the preparation that we usually focus on.
I think firstly, they've brought two quite experienced strength conditioning coaches together, which is not something you see quite often in the modern day trend with regards to football. You normally find a senior component and a youngster looking up and learning from that. When we've been put in a situation where Razo yourself is very experienced, especially in development, you've been around the game for a long time. For myself, not as much in terms of time, but regards to education and experience I've gotten at previous clubs, I think that's where I'm able to add a lot more experience. And you haven't been in this environment for much longer than I've been. I think that's where you come and you bring your expertise along, and you mention to me what to work, what won't work. But I think just we've done well with regards to adaptability.
We have, because if you check, we are more or less on the same wavelength in terms of thinking. And I think what makes us work well is our panic button. if we are not organized,
100%.
then it's a problem for us.
I think that's something we pride ourselves on as organization.
In that, the ability to adapt
Yes, sir.
quickly. That's what has worked for us. That, well, okay, situation has changed immediately. Okay, boy, I have an idea, you have an idea. We match them together. We make something work on the spot if there needs to be a situation of that nature. But other than that, it felt natural how it gelled up. As much as we just met in the at the beginning of the season, finding our feet, who's who, how is he.
Yes, sir.
But immediately we realized, okay.
We think alike, same sort of wavelength. And I think going back to the adaptability, and there's not many clubs in the PSL that's in the same situation we are with regards to our schedule and how regimes are done, where we have in our supporters one side of the country, our home base, one side of the country.
Yeah.
We are training on the other side. I think it speaks a lot to the recovery protocols that we had to adapt and we've had to fix accordingly, because the amount of traveling gets done with regards to technical team and the players themselves, and also not forgetting that you can only take a squad of 20 players
at a time
to camp. There is a remaining balance of 8 to 10 to 12 players that stays behind, and for you to take that responsibility, that's why I keep checking up on you. Are you okay? Because it can't be the easiest.
No,
it can't be the easiest situation, especially coming towards the end of the season and having to keep a group of individuals motivated to stay ready for the next chance or the next gap. And I think you've prepped them well with regards to that mental attitude, because anyone that was called upon from the so-called outside coming in, you don't really notice from outside, number one, which is a really good thing. Number two,
who was there?
Yes, and number two, I think they've grasped and taken that opportunity with both hands.
Yeah, it's one of those, when we speak the same language, it works better for them, because when they are left with me, they still get to connect with you when they get to the other side.
100%.
Like in instances where maybe someone needs to maybe arrive late on camp because of traveling situations. Maybe you're traveling from one town, one city to another. So it becomes very easy. It becomes very easy.
I think if you look at the scale that was brought, the 1 to 5, if you end up on 1 and you end up on 5, you've got issues, because number 1, it's a tough start. Number 5, we're not really getting our ideas across, because we all have our own opinions. It carries a certain weight, and one opinion needs to be taken into account for, especially when it comes to certain departments. I know my strength as a conditioning coach. You know your strength. And if I feel that, Raz, with your experience, you've seen it on a daily basis, if I feel that you are much better in this department, I'll press upon your number, and vice versa. So generally, I'll give it definitely a 4.
Yeah, because they say nothing is perfect. So I agree with the 4.
Yeah,
I agree with the 4, because it's a matter of, even if he's not for the idea, he works around that idea.
100%.
So you've given me something to think about. Maybe let's do this instead of that. And like, then you'd have to state your reasons. Okay, I want to do this because of 1, 2, 3. I also do the same. So yeah,
I think also what I found with regards to that, you give an idea. I might not understand it or agree with it at that point in time, but further down the line, because of your experience, you've been in a situation a couple more times than myself. Then I come across that situation a week or 2 times later, and I thought to myself, okay, this is what Razo meant. And that's where I'm able to still press upon your butt to be like, remember what you explained to me last week? Please help me with this.
You like brainwaves. Remember that thing? You like those brainwaves.
I think there's been a couple. One thing that's most recent, I remember when we had to plan the preseason program.
Yep.
So obviously you've got your own structure, I've got my own structure, your template, my template. And I think we never had a problem with the structure of the template itself. It's regard to the content of it. I remember when I first got to the club itself, obviously I've gone through your paperwork and how you set things up. At the time, I didn't understand the breakdown of it. And now obviously time has come, it's completed a full circle, we had to plan for the following season. And obviously content is still there, but now I have a better understanding, and that was purely based upon me being able to see your work. And then obviously within that content, there's certain distances that need to be covered at a certain tempo. So for me, when I looked at that, you can look at it in one way, and I just look for it in a more modern way in terms of adaptability. That I do tick the box in terms of intensity, tempo, and distance covered, but just in a different manner.
Yeah, I was also, just to add on that, I was also checking with you in terms of the use of the resources, rather the equipment. Sometimes the creativity will throw me off at times. Because you explain very quickly. Like, one, two, can you see it? Like, set it up. I need to see this.
Sometimes that's a bit.
And then only when the players are in motion. Oh, now I
sense.
see. Now I see. Because me, in most cases, I like throwing in the ball. Like,
but the thing is, the nice part that I've never been in a situation where you've had an idea, I had an idea, we chose to go with yours, and I never felt at once like this would not work out. If that makes sense. Whichever idea that we go with, we know it's going to work out for
and if you check, in most cases, it ends up being, okay, take that part, mesh these two ideas into one.
And I think that's how we already do it at training every day. If you look at the different phases of a training session, we've done that very well to bring it together, because it's at a point now we don't realize which idea comes from where, or who does which part, you know.
So it's almost fluid.
So it flows nicely by now.
Me, Tisha.
Go for it.
For me, because it's players that I've worked with before. But if you check Makaman's journey,
that's the first thing that came to my mind.
And for him to come this far
without breaking down,
without having any issues, for me, Grant takes the cup. Jones is number 2.
Yes, very hard work, no?
Very hard, and he made sure that he maintains his gym regime.
100%.
He made sure every time he goes to the gym to strengthen. So for me, those two, coming from their situations, their hardships in terms of their physical status, I think for me, those two, they stand out for me. But obviously not taking away from the whole group. You can mention a few players, even if the whole team is there. The whole team is up there, because the demands, we were not joking. When it's conditioning day, we were not joking.
To work, my friend.
We were not joking. Everyone was able to come to the party for our conditioning session. So
I think
compliments.
From my side, there's a few, and I'm thinking back from pre-season when I just arrived. I think what people see on the weekends or midweek games, they switch on the TV and they sort of see the end product. If it's not the end product, it's very close to that. But you find that these are people, they are not just footballers, they've got emotions, they've got habits, they've got their own personal problems and capacities that they struggle with, that the general public don't really get to see. I think generally as strength conditioning coach, you spend a lot of time with the players. So I remember pre-season, there was a few guys that we were very concerned about in terms of weight and in terms of their work. And I think we've had a group of 6 to 7 players in that section. And it's so pleasing to see today there's no one in that section. You mentioned Grant Margaman. Obviously, I was not part of the process of getting him back onto the field. That kudos to you and Brabi in the medical department. Another one that I think of is Monk Makuane. He's been on a journey himself. He's done very well to keep himself in good shape
throughout
the whole process. Even in the times when he was left behind and he had to work with you, he did very well there. Going back to Grant again, in a time that was off his feet, it must not have been easy to keep the weight down, especially with their body type. Another one, the DDC boys. I think it's a big compliment to the club structure throughout in the development staff. I think those boys join the first team and not be able to cope on a tempo standard, that would be concerning. But they were able to keep up with the demands and intensity. I think it's maybe just the duration of being able to work in that intensity that's become a problem, which is something can be fixed over time.
Yeah.
It's something that's fixed here on the everyday training at this tempo and this intensity
Yeah.
to improve them. So I think the DDC boys compliment to development, the structure of the club, compliment to you with Grant Magaman 8-9 months
Man,
off his feet.
that process was brutal.
Could not have been the easiest. Makuane is another one. Another one to mention, Ricardo Goss.
Yeah.
Ricardo's done very well. I really appreciate himself because at the beginning of the season I had my concerns about where he's at physically because yes, he had worked hard, all of it, but there was not much attention paid to what happens in the kitchen and what happens at home. And since we've been working together, it's improved his game to another level. He's able to recover quicker, he's able to complete a lot more games, and just he's built up his own routine of what he does from match day -3 to actual match day.
Even before training, when he gets on the field, the activation on his own.
So I think generally speaking, from the education point of view to implementing, we've done that very well too.
Yeah, I think
they've gained a lot of knowledge in terms of food and looking after himself, and now they implement to such a way that they are passing the knowledge on to
the younger
the younger ones at DDC.